Friday with Funkhouser. Let's get started with a question about Tuesday's etax vote. What did the vote totals say to you? Mayor Mark Funkhouser in studio with us. What does that mean to you?
Well, what it means is we need to have a very careful, sober conversation with our voters about what they want to do at the next election in April. The passage of Prop A statewide means that we have to have a vote on continuing the earnings tax or not in April. The fact that it passed narrowly in Kansas City means that we need to talk to our citizens about the implications. Clearly, if Prop A, if the earnings tax is repealed in Kansas City, we will have to cut services. We want them to understand that, and we want them to understand that half of that tax is paid by folks who don't live in Kansas City. It's $200 million, so if they vote yes on repealing the earnings tax, they're voting to give a $100 million tax break to folks who don't live here. I'm not sure they want to do that.
And, you know, a lot of people, when they were looking at what Prop A really meant, a lot of people confused that it meant getting rid of the earnings tax with this election. Does that make you nervous, knowing that's kind of the misconception people had?
You know, I think that the Prop A proponents did a very good job of stressing the let the voters decide thing. So I think a lot of folks voted for Prop A saying, well, okay, fine, let's have a vote on the earnings tax. So I'm not worried about that. One thing is very clear, though. We are going to have to do some sort of comprehensive overhaul of our tax structure. I think that our voters will probably vote in April to retain the earnings tax, but then we need to get busy in an open process, talking with residents and small businesses and others about what services you want to have and how you want to pay for them.
And speaking of budgets, we're getting to that time of year. We're getting ready for the first snowfall. People remember horribly just how much the weather pounded the snowfall in Kansas City. What are you saying to people to ease them?
Well, first of all, last year was an incredibly difficult and unusual year. I mean, we had some of the worst snow that we had had in 30 years, and it stayed cold a long, long time. We had city crews working from about Christmas Eve straight for about 6 or 7 days. It seemed to snow every day. Let me tell you, mayors don't like snow.
Me neither.
It snowed and it snowed, and we were pushed way beyond our capacity. We have done a couple of things to prepare. We've budgeted more money for snow removal. We have gotten GPS systems for our snowplows so that we can tell people where they are when they've been there. A lot of folks were concerned, well, they've never plowed my street. Have you forgotten we're here? No, it's just a very, very big city, and it takes a long time when the snow keeps coming. But they'll be able to track, I believe, on their computer where that snowplow is. And
when it's coming to them.
And when it's coming, or whether it has in fact been there, but it kept snowing. And at the rate it was snowing, we would plow a path down the street, and then it would fill up.
I mean, hopefully, you felt like you were chasing it the whole time, I'm sure. Hopefully there's not another winter like that this year. If there is, bottom line, you say we're ready?
I say we are far more ready than we were last year. We got some new plans and some new technology. And yeah, I think we're in better shape by far than we were last year. I hope, though, that we don't have another 30 years snow on my watch. Thank you.
Me too. We have people asking, in the spirit of the elections just happening, you're kicking off your campaign tonight. If you're reelected, what are you going to do differently than this first time around? Well,
in some ways, I'm going to continue the same themes that I've had all along, which is listening to voters, being smart with their money. I mean, we have done a lot to restore the financial stability of the city. We will continue to do that. Watch very carefully over spending. We will be very diligent about reviewing economic development projects to make sure that taxpayers' money is spent wisely. But some things that we will do that new and different is we will have a comprehensive overhaul of the tax structure. That's sort of almost job one. People are concerned about taxes, and I think, you know, the earnings tax was passed in 1970. We need a tax structure for the 21st century. So that is a high priority. We will continue to emphasize cops in schools. That's important.
Spending and all that, a lot of weighing on people's mind. Thank you, Mayor, for joining us.
Thank you.